Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Six Zone podcast. Here today we got boards of debates. We got comic relief. Is that what you're going by?
Relief.
Comic relief. Welcome.
So, hold on.
How are we doing?
Wait. So, if you're comic relief, are you fun?
No, and that's the joke.
That's a good question.
That's the joke. That was a funny joke, though.
It works every time.
Okay.
Yeah, forgive me if my face is like. I just had surgery. So for those of you that already know, so my face is pretty lopsided right now, as most of you could tell. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about anime today, right? What are we talking about first? I know you brought up like some Bleach. You brought up Attack on Titans. There's a lot of good anime that's coming out today that I'm pretty excited about. I don't know about you guys.
I'm kind of excited about. Only excited about the things I care about, though. I've cared about Bleach. I caught up with Bleach. I caught up with Bleach like a few months ago. So I caught up with her. So while I caught up with it, I caught up with the episodes. It was in the middle, like 3 or 4. Then I watched it. I said, "This is amazing." I think Bleach, just coming back from like being from the big 3, I think is up there for like this year for anime fights for sure. Comic Relief, you watch Bleach or no?
I don't.
Okay, okay, okay. I'm not gonna lie. I
So,
was one of those persons. I don't know why we younger,
ooh,
why we feel like we have to choose one. I chose Naruto. I was like, I'm sticking with Naruto. Like when it first came out, I was like, I'm not watching nothing else. But as I got older, my mind started expanding.
so you. So what's your knowledge? Just to give the audience some ideas to your knowledge on anime. How much knowledge do you have, and how long have you been actually watching anime? I don't think I've had that discussion with you on the channel before. And we'll get
So,
over to yeah.
so like the rest of my people, the black people, we started off with Dragon Ball Z. I feel realistically, I think everybody started off with Dragon Ball Z and Naruto. If you're my age, I'm 27, so I'm a 90s baby.
Okay.
So we start off with Dragon Ball Z. Then Naruto creeps around for some reason, right? And One Piece sprinkled in there a little bit too. I done lost all my knowledge for One Piece because I got scared of the number. Once I seen the number, I said that's a lot of time, and it scared me away when I got older. So had a friend on Xbox Live. You gotta enjoy the Xbox Live parties. That's how you, for real. That's how you. Sometimes it depends on what Xbox Live party you in. That's your real friends for real. You tell them everything. You tell them everything. You could be in California and you just enjoy their conversation while you're playing games. And my friend, he got me into anime again. I think the war was happening in Naruto, and that took me. They made me go back in Naruto, and then when I watched Naruto over, that got me into Yu Yu Hakusho. So I watched Yu Yu Hakusho when I was a kid. So I didn't, I'm just watching cartoons. I don't understand it, but I enjoy it. I enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho as an anime, as one of I think one of the primary main characters, shonen characters. I think it was like it's different.
Okay.
You don't see a main character die in the first episode, so that's interesting. But they
Yeah, that's
expanded
something that a lot of
attack.
series they don't do.
Hmm.
What were you
So
saying?
it's a trailblazer for sure. I like Yu Yu Hakushow, and that kind of started my love for like when I listen back to that. Well, Naruto really started my love for intros, like like anime openings. Oh my goodness, I didn't know none of the words, but I felt like I did. I felt like I knew Japanese.
So so Naruto is one of those series that has some of the best openings that I could think of. There's some good openings out there, but I don't think they pale in comparison to Naruto. That's Naruto definitely has some quality openings as well as endings. Um,
Yeah, endings for sure.
I could definitely say you'd say that. But as far
And
as
I
Naruto goes,
no, go ahead.
I think I think Naruto as a series. I guess just to keep it brief, I think it definitely laid the groundwork out for people that were newer to anime at that time. It's got a lot of appeal to it. Yeah, I can see that.
You break it up a little bit, Zone.
But what I don't, I'm breaking up a little bit.
You break you sound like a robot.
Do I sound like a robot? What about on the
Yeah, you sound
stream?
like a
How do I
robot.
sound on the stream?
Well, I don't know about the stream, but I'm on the Discord.
Yeah, you sound fine over Discord.
Yo, if there's
Hold on, is it
what's
me?
that?
You also sound fine to me.
You are pretty choppy.
All of us are choppy?
So comic.
Because comic relief is choppy too. Maybe I should leave and come back. See what happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works for Discord.
Okay.
Oh, much better. Much better. Very nice. How am I
Okay.
coming in though? How do I sound pretty
Okay.
how do I sound?
You sound
I
good.
sound
I don't
good?
know. Maybe it was me. Maybe I'm the one that was listening. Yeah. But what about you,
You are
Karma
pretty
Relief? What
choppy.
you?
You are pretty choppy. I think that's the Wi-Fi.
Who, me? I'm choppy still.
Yeah, just a little bit though. You should be. No, no, it's just from time to time. It's almost like it's a Wi-Fi connection, but I think you're good.
It's cellular data. It's cellular data. Comic Relief. What about you? How you got started with anime? And how old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
You don't have to say how old you are. Just everything else though, except if you want to.
Oh, okay.
I'll, I
The
was
age
born
kind of
past.
tells me.
I'll just say I was born past 1999.
Okay, 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 okay.
All right. And what was the other question?
What started you off with anime? And what anime do you watch? I
Okay.
ain't
Okay.
finished mine.
So I'd say like any kid might like who was born post 1999. We watch like the standard ones like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, maybe, without really understanding that it is a different type or different type of me. I don't want to say it's a different type of me. I just want to say like it's special or something like that. But aside from Pokemon,
Hmm.
I watched Dragon Ball Z Kai. Then the first anime I watched, like understanding that I was getting into something different, was Death Note on Netflix when I was in high school.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then that kind of started like
Was
going
that
down
like
the
a
rabbit
drastic
hole.
change for you?
It made me think, wow, this
Well,
if all series are like this, then that's amazing. Now, granted, I learned that's not true, but there's a lot of hidden gems that I'm not aware of. That's basically what I learned. So I went down the rabbit hole. If I finished Death
that's a
Note, then I watched Kill la Kill, then I watched Full Metal Alchemist, then Devilman Crybaby, and what else? I don't I don't think I watched anything else other than that for a while. And then in college, I started getting more I started getting more into it. So but it was One Piece. One Piece. I got into One Piece. I want to say maybe my sophomore semester of college, or I think my junior, and I caught up very quickly. Like by the time I started, no, by the time I started college, I believe One Piece would have been started the Wano arc, and by the time I caught up to it, I think we were like in Act 3.
interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then yeah, and
So
then
what would you say is like
recently
your favorite?
my favorite.
Continue. I
Yeah,
can
and then
continue out the other point. I'll get back to it.
yeah, yeah, and then Spy Family and My Dress Up Darling came out, and I liked those a lot. Yeah,
I
that's pretty much
see.
my story.
I see.
Yeah, there's
That's a
always a
pretty decent range of anime. I say. Um, you said you started off with let's say Dragon Ball and Pokemon, and you worked your way to like Death Note. That's kind of a drastic jump, really. Um, but
well,
I could definitely tell how your taste might change over a course of some years. You kind of pointed out that I was in high school, um, and then of course
I don't know,
it cured a little bit more, and then am I getting that right?
no, I would still rewatch Death Note. It's just like, what do you find out at the time, and yeah, it's just about what you find at the time and whether or not you like it or not. I think anime has a lot of hidden gems. I think it has a lot more hidden gems coming down the line. It's just a matter of waiting for them.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I think it's like you gradually improve in your anime awareness, and then you just kind of find the good ones. Like Death
Yeah.
is definitely one of those ones. It's like it's up there. It's got we one of the best animes ever, and it's weird because I come from action. I want to see action, but it had typically no action in there, and you enjoyed it still. I love Death Note.
Well, I think it also kind of stands out a lot compared to like a lot of stereotypical anime you'll see. In the fact that its premise is very, very what's the right word I'm looking for here? Intriguing.
Yeah,
and then the cat and mouse game between Light and L. That really just carries it for a good while. You want to see how it ends up.
Exactly. And that's why people are hurt when you
I like
kill
that.
L. It's like, why do you kill one of the best characters on the show? But it's like it had to end. But I thought both of them was gonna end at the same time. That's how I would want the story. I mean, it was all right, but it at its peak, it wasn't the same at later on after the peak.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I went to rewatch it, but I went to rewatch it, and I agree. The first time I rewatched it, when L died and Nier came in, it was missing something. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But naturally, that after that, when you finish the series, you look into it. You go on YouTube, you see people like analyzing things, and kind of breaking some things down. Because like it or not, the Nier and Mellow, ha what is that? A third of that's like a third of Death Note, right? Yeah, the Nier and Mellow third of Death Note. There is things in there, but unfortunately, you have to like look into it.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. They Near and Mellow, they need each other. It's kind of like it's two halves of the same coin. Some one do different than the other. That's why they work better together, and that's why he'll like them together, or one of them both to be his not superior. Um, his
By the way, did you know that Matt, like the one of the guys that Mello had working for him, he was the third in line?
Are you serious?
Yes, he died, and they killed him. He died like in that car chase in the anime. He died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he
Wow,
was the third in line.
he must have been 1A or 1C. He's the third one. But what's the word I'm
I think
what's the word I'm looking
I,
for? Never mind. Go ahead.
I was gonna
Was that
say I
you?
think there's definitely been that was Boruto. Yeah, that was Boruto. I was gonna say that I think there's definitely a lot of series out there that have made an impact, and you could tell that certain writers have a niche for encapsulating a broad amount of stuff within a small margin of time, which I appreciate. I'm more of like a story driven guy, so every time you know a creator can encapsulate the fundamentals and foundations of good storytelling as well as film and choreography, I definitely appreciate that. Um, that's it's and it's I don't know if you're familiar with there's also another piece of another anime by the name of The Platinum End by the same creator
Oh yeah,
um,
yeah,
as Death Note.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not familiar.
it's got some conflicting views. It's not the most popular series, but I'd say it's still worth the watch. It's an interesting perspective. I think one has to have to actually understand the value of the series. Um, Personally, I enjoyed it through and through. I mean, there were some rough parts, and you can tell it's a little dated for, you know, it's a little dated even though it's only a few years old. Its choreography is kind of dated, its style of choreography that is, and and that's okay. I'm not saying that makes it any worse or anything like that. There's a lot of good series out there, and it sounds like you're pretty well rounded as far as anime goes. Like even age or otherwise. I don't think that really has much to do with taste. I think taste is all in the mind of, it's all in the it's it's dependent upon the person themselves, right? And that's something I've come to learn over the last few years. It doesn't necessarily have to do with age. Typically, you'd see like a younger crowd that's more attracted to, let's say, um, fighting. Just action, 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 nothing but action, and it doesn't even have to encapsulate good storytelling. Of course, it has to make sense for narrative reasons, and it has to make sense for, um, let's
I want to counter
say,
that. I
not
want to
just
counter
narrative
what you're saying.
reasons, but I'm sure you will. I said that because I felt like you might have a counter to it, but not just for
Because
narrative
these
reasons, but
young
for
guys,
scaling and debating reasons as well. Um, that's that's the majority of what I see to be true with the younger anime enthusiasts nowadays. Not necessarily, um, you know, factual in the whole community, but in the large majority of young people nowadays. That's I can see how that might be true. Are we gonna say board to debates?
I think he accidentally. I think he got kicked or something. Yeah, there he is. He's back.
Oh, yeah, he might have disconnected because of his mic. I got you.
Okay.
I got you debates. Let me see.
only want to
Welcome
say
back.
I counter that because these young guys, some of their first anime is sword art online.
Oh
They
God.
won't go back. They won't go back to
Really?
no anime after that. What's his name? What's his name that speaks on the podcast sometimes? I'm talking about the the Cloud
What?
podcast. The white kid. He's a young kid. He's smart too. Oh, I can't think of his name. Sometimes he used to judge the
Saran?
debates. Saran. He won't go back and watch Dragon Ball Z. He don't even. I don't think he watched Yu Yu
Yeah.
Hakusho.
I mean,
Is it really that good?
yeah. I mean, you know,
What do you mean?
so Yu Hakusho is actually one of my favorite animes of all time. As far as Dragon Ball goes, I think both Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho have an equal influence in the community. Only because I feel like Dragon Ball is influenced from Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball takes a lot of inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho. They both sort of take a little inspiration from each other, but I think more so that
Probably
that
half
Dragon Ball
of what you
takes it
said.
from
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Uh,
But Yu Yu
right.
Hakusho is like the trailblazer for like tournament arcs. I think Yu Yu Hakusho got to be the first anime to start tournament arcs. That's why tournament arcs are so popular and probably one of the most watched arcs in every series.
Yeah, I mean not just that, but like the philosophical reasons as well. Japanese philosophy. I speak about from time to time, but that carries a lot within the Boruto series. Not excuse me, within the Dragon Ball series. Excuse me, and it works its way into series like Naruto and Boruto, and those are some series that are more popular today that a lot of the newer generation are interested in, as well as other shonen anime as well. It's crowned itself as being one of the one of the idols in the anime community that a lot of people look to when looking at anime. It's Dragon Ball. It's series like Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho that kind of created this foundation for other anime creators to kind of build upon, which I appreciate as an anime enthusiast. Um, some of you already know I've been watching anime for 20, 25 years plus. So I'm sort of familiar with how different forms of anime kind of take its influence and share their perspective amongst the community itself. Um, as far as like One Piece goes, One Piece, I have my own specific reasons as to why I don't currently continue to watch it. I did drop it at a certain point, but I do chime in from time to time to uh, to view the series just because it was one of those series that came about when I was younger. So
Exactly.
yeah, it's always gonna be one
On
of the
Fox,
series
on
that
Fox TV.
I kind of right.
Saturday morning.
But it was even back in the mom and pop, VHS stores. Um, when you got the little gumball machines, you got the arcade machines, you also got the VHSs, and you got this little VHS of One Piece.
Yeah,
It
I had Dragon Ball.
wasn't before. It was probably like one or two before the VHS stores started to go out of business. But then the game came out on like PlayStation 2, I believe. Maybe Xbox. That it was pretty big, at least for me. Um, it was like a
Hmm.
fighting game, like adventure fighting game. Sort of like the Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series or Budokai
Oh
series.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
love that.
but yeah,
Never owned one myself, but I loved it though.
yeah, it's
Playing on other people's PlayStation 2s.
yeah, it's as far as anime goes, I know you mentioned Bleach, series like Bleach and um, what was it? Bleach and something else? Attack on Titans
Oh
that you wanted
yeah,
to
but Comic Relief was right though,
correlate.
and you were right too. The story gets me. I think the story gets most people. Like Death Note, interesting story. Naruto, it, it's an interesting story. It's better writing than Dragon Ball Z. You know, Dragon Ball Z and Naruto is always the top two you always pick to. But I do enjoy Attack on Titan. It's a different story. Uh, what got me really was the first episode. I said, nah, yeah, the first episode and a couple episodes after that. Cause like I'm trying to figure out. I didn't know who the main character was because the main character got eaten. I said, "Is he the main character?" I think I started crying. I said, "Bro, I'm confused. I didn't know what was going on."
Like in episode 3.
As one way to make an introduction.
I was like, what the fuck?
You said that was
Bro,
episode 3.
it had to be something. It was close. It wasn't that far. It was close. I said, "Is he the main character?" I stopped the show and had to pause for a second. Had to walk around the house. I was like, "What is going on?" I just seen the main character get eaten. I'm not sure. Is this one of these shows? This is what I was thinking. I was like, is these one of these shows where there's no main character? Because I got invested. I got invested. I was
And
hurt.
I'm glad you pointed. I'm glad you pointed that out because as main characters go, I think people have this, especially like anime viewers nowadays, they have this kind of idea that there should be a main character to make a series flow right, right? Especially when that pertains to new shonen. Um, that thing doesn't always or construct doesn't always um, have to carry when it pertains to other types of series, shonen, isekai, whatever, right? Um, and I think it's a flawed judgment that we kind of invoke upon these new anime, right? Um,
But it worked though.
coming into this perspective that okay, this is the main character. It worked to a degree, right? They kind of pulled the Yu Yu Hakusho a little bit, and I don't mean to correlate the two series or off put the Attack on Titan series by saying that Attack on Titans, I think it's still a pretty good anime as far as perspective and story writing goes. How they
But
ended
some
off
of
the
that got to
series, I
do
do
with
have
the
my opinions
studio.
on that. Of
You
okay,
you can't sell.
what do
It's
you
hard
mean
to
by
sell a
that?
manga. I think it's hard to sell a manga that ain't got nothing to do with a main character. Like people gravitates toward a main character. I think it's hard to sell not having a main character in these studios. I feel like some of these studios and some of these studio assistants that help with the manga, I think sometimes it's very important. I think Kishimoto did well with an assistant that had something to do with the studio. They told him to make a Sasuke and make him well, and and Sasuke carried some of the series like that. That's some people favorite character. So sometimes you need that studio help.
It I think I do know what you're saying, what you mean by that. As far as Aaron being a Sasuke, I think
Oh no! I didn't say
Aaron
that.
is if
Oh, I did
Sasuke
say
would
that.
have
I did say that.
continued.
I did say that. You're right.
I would say that
Sorry.
I
Go
would say
ahead.
that Aaron is like Sasuke, um, if he would have decided to go on with the revolution, and I think I feel like that's just saying that alone kind of off puts Sasuke as a character, and the same when it goes to Jaeger, Aaron Yeager. Um, Aaron, you could tell there is a, you can't really tell there's as much as an internal struggle because he is the main character, and he vocalizes a lot of the stuff that he vocalizes a lot of the stuff that he has on his mind. But then again, he also apparently was holding a lot of stuff back, finding out new things, new revelations that transformed the series. I think within within seasons 1 through 3. I think it wasn't until the point toward after season 4 where you get this build up of information that just kind of burst into a plethora of flashbacks and inner dialogue that kind of gives more depth to the character of Aaron Yeager. I think that
Let me ask y'all this question.
you know go ahead.
What do y'all think about this is a comparison, right? Aaron, he is the anime version of Killmonger. What y'all think
Okay, what
about
do you
that?
mean by that?
I feel like you're somewhat right and also not.
Talk to me.
I don't know. I don't know how to put it because
Okay. Let me think about it. Let me talk why. Okay, Killmonger, right? He's a character. Okay, he's not the main character, of course, but
yeah,
he's the second character.
yeah,
But in him being the second character, you feel why he's doing what he needs to do. He feel like his people he feel like there's no way out because it's systemic. It's everywhere, and you can't change their mind. They're gonna do what they want to do. So he's like, let me empower the people. Go out with this plan. Was it gonna be genocide? Probably so. But in his head, it made sense. Empower the people. Now, I'm saying this to Aaron. He felt like there was no way out because what was going on in his society? It's systemic. They're raising the kids to be soldiers. The parents are forcing the kids to be soldiers for a better life. The kids are already indoctrinated what they believe in. So what you have to do? You have to kill the kids. You have to kill the women. You have to kill the men. The men fighting the war. Every nation is going against my nation. So what I have to do? I have to kill almost the whole population. Even though he didn't complete his job, whoever didn't watch anime or manga, even if he didn't complete his job, right? He knocked a significant portion of the population of the Earth down. Even if it's at 10%, he changed the world. I feel like Aaron is the completion of what Killmonger could have did. See, the killing the white people is crazy. That's a crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Killmonger crazy, but he's a character that you felt his motive. You wanted him to kind of succeed in some kind of way. That's why I say that. Don't go too off on script now. Don't go. I said don't go too off script. I said don't go too off script because. Yeah, yeah. Then I want comic. Then I want comics relief on that.
Huh?
Okay, okay. Okay. Comic relief, what you talking about? What about what I said? What about comic relief? What you think?
Regarding what? Attack on Titan?
Aaron,
Hmm.
yeah.
I mean, I said, yeah, there's definitely some similarities. That's mainly the whole genocide thing and trying to save, well, your people. But then again, wasn't the whole thing about Aaron like the fact that he just actually wanted to destroy the rest of the world?
What do you mean? He wanted to?
He wanted
Yeah.
to, like, it was less so the fact that he wanted to save his people, and more so the fact that he just didn't want anyone to control him. Like, it's the whole he was a slave to freedom, or the idea of freedom, that in any way, if he feels inhibited in any way, he wants to destroy it.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, you talking about
Yes.
Aaron? Yeah.
Like that was like the whole thing. Like, do you guys remember there was like a video after the final chapter came out that was like, oh, what you don't understand about Eren Yeager or something like that?
I didn't see it.
I don't know. The whole point was that, yeah, I don't remember it exactly, but I do remember that the whole point was that Eren has kind of always been like this child that just wants, well, freedom for himself. And when he realized he wasn't going to get it exactly for himself, that's when he went back and said, all right, fine, let me actually help my friends, aka Mikasa and Armin.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question. All right. So both of y'all, yes, either yes or no. Then I'll ask why. Okay. Do you think Aaron Yeager was right in what he did?
Do I think Aaron Yeager was right in what he did? I think it was a cause that had to be that was basically a result of history, the politicians, and leading up to that point. I definitely think there was
So that's a yes.
he was
It was a
justified
yes
in
or
his
no.
means. It was an extreme approach. Yeah, I mean
Okay. Common,
it's a yes, sure, it's a yes.
common relief, you a yes?
Was he justified by the means?
Yeah. Well, did he do the right thing?
Okay, if you say it like that, then
Okay. Hold
probably
on. Is he
so.
okay? Okay. You put yourself in his shoes. What would you do? That's a
Hold
better.
on.
Uh,
You lived how he lived.
So I feel like I feel like this is
You
more
seen
than
him.
just a yes or no question because
It might be.
is he justified in his own means? Sure, but was he justified in the grand scheme of things? I think that could be no too, right?
Okay.
I don't think it's
Let
just a
me ask this,
straightforward
Aaron.
answer.
If you were Aaron, how'd you go about it? No, hold on. No. No, that's
I
not the
mean, the
question.
series.
You're Aaron. Would you go about it the same way?
Okay.
That's a yes or no question. There we go. There we go.
Hmm. Wait, hold up. He
That
could have erased the memory.
even that, I
He,
don't think.
Could have erased the memory of who?
he could have erased the memory of the subjects of Ymir, right?
Yeah, but he couldn't erase what the people about them.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. He could also alter their bodies and their. He could also turn them in and out of Titans, right?
I think
Yep.
yes.
Right. So all he would literally have to do, quite literally,
Okay.
is just make every single one of the subjects of Ymir turn into Titans, have them fuck shit up, change them back, erase their memories, and scatter them all across the world.
Mhm.
Erase their memories. What else? What else? What else? Erase their memories, turn them back, scatter them all across the world. So basically, not only would you like destroy civilization a bit, but also you would scatter out the former
Hold on.
subjects and get rid of the Titan powers.
Comic. I don't know if you can turn them on and turn them off.
What do you mean?
I don't know if he can turn people on, turn them into Titans just by thinking, and then turn them back off. I don't think he can do that.
Well, it happened at the end of the series, didn't it?
It was never
Oh,
stated. It was no.
I didn't.
It
Go ahead.
happened because he died. Right. It was never stated that he could control exactly whether or not they could be turned off. Right.
I
It
mean,
was
I'd
only stated
imagine
that
it
he
could.
could turn them on, and I think that you'd imagine, but that'd be putting stuff in the story that it wasn't ever there. You know,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
um,
Fair enough.
it's that's and as far as Aaron's ambitions go, like I think that
What you
he
would have done?
did what
What
he
you would have done?
he
That way he
did
can.
what what's that?
What you would have done.
What I would have done? What I would have
Mm-hmm.
done? I mean,
An
you
Aaron
know,
prediction.
I that's very difficult to say because I couldn't put myself in his shoes. It's an anime world.
Yeah.
That's a
You get
very
you get
difficult
what I was
question.
trying to
That's a
go for, though,
difficult
right?
question because it's not possible.
You get what I was trying to go for, though,
I
right?
believe so.
Essentially,
You're trying to say that, he could have found a way to minimize the damage, right?
you could have minimized the damage while achieving,
And
I want to say a similar effect. That being that one, you couldn't tell who's a fucking subject of your mirror anymore. Oh wait, fuck that DNA test. Fuck. Wait, no. Hey, wait, hold up. We don't know exactly how that blood test worked, don't we?
for what?
Like there was blood tests to see if you were a subject of a mirror. I remember that. Question is, was it by DNA or was it solely by like some type of Titan shit going on?
So I remember there was one point in time where they had basically, and they had like this serum, right, that they would inject into random people, therefore making them subjects of your mirror, right? Because they now have the DNA of your mirror within their bodies because of that
Hold on.
serum, right? So these
I think
scientists would basically inject people.
No, I thought that that serum can only work on subjects of your
yeah,
mirror.
it only can work on subjects in your mirror, but I think once you know who is the subject in your mirror, you track it by family ties. So they had like bands on them like Jews, and then you know that they come from and they live in a certain piece of the city. So you know who's the your mirror subject and who's not.
Well,
It's
yeah, but
based off that.
that's not the
I
question. Though.
know
My
they
question is,
were
how exactly does the blood test
they're
work? Is it literally by DNA?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know
so
if they
they
had
were
that.
killing
I don't know
people.
if they had
They
that.
would they would acquire certain people who they'd assume were subjects, and they would inject them and throw them off cliffs. Right, that's how they would test to see if you were a subject of your mirror, and if you transform, you're a subject your mirror, right?
Right.
So that's
Right.
that's literally how they did it.
Yeah, I don't remember them having testing blood.
Um,
They never said. At least I don't think so.
But they did.
But I ain't read the manga,
yeah,
so
I don't
Yeah,
recall
yeah.
that
Yeah,
either.
I was in the anime, but regardless, you got what I was trying to go for, right? If you pretty much if you destroy civilization just a bit, and you scatter people around, and you get rid of like a way to test for, well, for if you're a subject of your mirror, then essentially the world gets reset.
okay, okay. So
Sure,
what was
sure,
Dawn's
but
on?
then there's also what's that?
What did you end up saying, Zone? Of if you was Aaron, what would you do?
I would do exactly that. What was done.
Okay, 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 okay.
I would do exactly what was
Interesting.
done. I think it planned everything went around full circle at the end. You had Mikasa coming around full circle, right? You had Ymir coming around full circle, Aaron Yeager coming around full circle, right? Um, Actually, Aaron Yeager might be the one that did not come around full circle. I know he did because you could see his transformation within season 4. So yeah, you got Aaron Yeager coming around full circle. You got his brother coming around full circle. Um, you said you're not caught up with the manga yet.
I know what's going on. I just choose not
Did I
to
get that
do
right?
it because I heard they might change it in the anime, so I choose not to even mess up my head like that.
I mean, even if you do read the manga and they change in
Okay.
the anime, you're still gonna be surprised.
This is true, but I started on the anime. I'm gonna finish on the anime.
Uh,
It's
That's
kind of
completely.
like what anime I do that with? I do that with another anime. I think it's only I think it's only I think it's only I think it is only that anime I do with it
Yeah.
because I was bro. You gotta understand as an anime watcher, I was completely surprised by this character Aaron was. For like even the couple shows, I mean, couple episodes going out, I didn't know where Aaron was. I said, "Who is this guy with long hair?" That's how shocked I was. I loved it.
Yeah.
didn't know what was going on. I enjoyed that. That was a good season. Okay, okay. So we got something established here. We all will commit genocide. All right.
Hey, no, I didn't say genocide. Mine was not genocide. Mine was random and dispassionate. Like,
What you mean you trying to say like you just close your eyes like this city, that city. Like that's genocide to me.
I was like, yo, go everywhere. Don't kill everyone, but just fuck shit up enough that their records are destroyed. Just do that.
I felt like they
Oh
would go the
god.
other way.
Like, you see that a town hall right there? Yeah, fucking strike that shit.
I
That
was like,
military
bro,
base.
Mhm.
they basically he just
I think you cut out.
Yeah, he cut out. I have a
did.
question on this topic.
I did cut out. Somebody called me. I'm about to eat in a second. Going to this restaurant. But basically, what he did was kill all the racists. I think he basically completed it. If you had an option to kill all the race, man, that's what he did, man. I feel like that's a good option to take.
You know what's funny about the whole what's it called, subsidy and mirror racism? It's not based on like skin. They're just on background.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It almost parallel Nazi and Jews,
Oh yeah,
basically
you're right. You're right.
with the bands.
They dead ass look like one another.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have
the
that
blonde
whole
hair.
like you know, the time frame and the whole layout of the anime kind of seems like it dates back during that time too. So I could see how they might take
Oh,
some inspiration from that time frame as well.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's basically like if Jews had power back then,
yeah.
but everybody in the world be Nazis, basically.
Pretty much. Side note. Side note.
Yeah.
You ever just realize? You ever just realize that event in like real life history, the World War II. Today, like whenever an author needs like some tragedy that's like immediately relatable, they just take boom the Holocaust.
Okay, I'm trying to follow.
Yeah, it's a very big event. It's a very big
I'm
event
not, I'm not downplaying that
that
whatsoever.
occurred
I'm
in
just saying like
history.
it's like a trend that I just noticed.
Is
Like
is,
a
is it like a
lot.
trend or is it just something you follow?
It's just something that I'm realizing a lot.
It might be a pattern that you see that it may be a pattern. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a trend. It's just I don't know. It's interesting that you say that though.
I'm not thinking about it anymore. It's
I
like
think
Full Metal Alchemist. There was the whole Ishval thing, and then Attack on Titan. There's this, and it's like, hmm.
Interesting.
it seems to me
Yeah.
that you're more attracted to series that have uh, a certain time frame appeal. Would you say that?
No, I'd say it's just the quality of the storytelling.
Yeah, I think that's me too.
Yeah.
Well, I got
You
to go
said
eat.
quality of the storytelling. What do you mean by quality of the storytelling? Our
Like
our
how gross
debates.
they get into it. Like there's Full Metal Alchemist, there's Death Notes, there's One Piece for that matter. Okay, so Attack
Say
on
say
Titan. When you
say
look
again.
into
Like
it,
how what?
it's like how engrossed you can get into it, how interested you can get into it.
Okay.
Right. So there's Full Metal
What do
Alchemist,
you
there's
mean? Is
Death
that was
Note.
that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, I'm listening. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't think I heard your point. I don't know if you finished. Did you finish your point or what was your point? I guess is what I'm asking.
You asked me if I have like any type of series in general that I like, or like I'm lost right now.
So you said that um, it it resembles series like Full Metal Alchemist, and you stated something specifically, but I don't know if we caught it, or if I caught it. You said, did you want to clarify that? What you said last, or
Okay, so you asked me like
you
I don't
said
know.
something?
I
I'm
don't
just
know. Like
asking you to say what you said prior. You don't remember what you
I
said?
said, I
That's
said
cool.
it said the story sees
It's
you, or are you referring to
okay.
before that?
Yeah, clarify what you're saying, because I don't. You that might be it. I just can't really hear you right now. I don't know if I have to turn you up or what.
Let's test something. I I don't I don't know what you're referring to.
It's okay. We can move on. There was a
Yeah.
previous point that you stated, but yeah, I just I didn't catch it. But no,
Okay.
as far as Attack on Titans go, I think I wasn't trying to generally speak about Attack on Titans, but since we got to it, I think that the series definitely does an interesting job trying to depict the struggles of an individual and the causes of that happening, and then of course, trying to dial it back to the course of where it all began, and tying that all together, it coming around full circle. I don't know if you finished with Attack on Titans, but from what I can see, that's what it kind of all kind of makes it out to be, I think. What are your thoughts?
I think it does provide us with an interesting scenario. I'll agree to
What's
that.
that?
I said I agree that it provides us like interesting scenario of what if the world was quite literally the entire world was quite literally against you.
You know what? That's it's something that a lot, not too many people have to face. I don't think, unless you're like, I don't know, let's say the president or something, or there's not too many people that even have that level of power, but let alone the ability to kind of change the course of history. Um, he kind of was provided an opportunity, and he's not really looked upon as like this royal asset or anything like this, like or president, right? He's influencing, political structure that's kind of basically been influenced over the course of history, and then of course that the Ymir being a byproduct of that and being a slave, and although she was changed and altered, right, kind of unnatural by unnatural events, right, it kind of dialed it down and was manipulated mostly by the politics, um, and the her gene was passed on to other people, and influencing, you know, and causing the rumbling itself. Um, Aaron Yeager just so happened to be the guy that all kind of stemmed back to. Um, so I definitely, I think there's definitely some wiggle room in there to you kind of expand upon when it pertains to the anime, but I think the series as a whole does a decent job of not only giving some, giving us a what if, Sasuke continued on. I don't think Kishimoto would have written Sasuke the way that Aaron Yeager is written. Um, Aaron Yeager is both powerless and powerful at the same time, I think you could say. Um, he's powerless to write the history that he wants, um, ideally, but then also is powerful enough to change the course of history, um, to alter it, which I think basically kind of gives us a peek into his character and his humanity, right? Because I think that's something that the character struggles with throughout the series: humanity, right? His humanity and the humanity of other people, and realistically, that's the most humane choice that he felt for him, right? He didn't look at himself as a god. He didn't turn into that character that was like, I'm God. He was like, I'm capable of changing things, and I'm going to do it. Um, and that's something that I think a lot of people will caution on, um, hold back on because they're not quite sure which route they would take. But I think certain events kind of placed Aaron Yeager into, um, and gave him direction, which was tactfully done. I think it was pretty well done, executed. I think there are definitely some other good series out there. Not saying Attack on Titan is the best at what it does. It is. It did make its own standing. I think, if you look at it from its own series, right? Some may think it has, maybe some Code Geass inspiration, which is sure, I could see that. And then also maybe there is the other series that Borsha Debates brought on or spoke about, and then of course the whole Holocaust appeal. So you could tell it definitely has some inspiration that it utilizes, comprises that pretty well. Um, as its own sense of originality. Um, I do plan on expanding the channel as a whole. We might even have more people come on and talk about um, different animes that I personally like. Uh, uh, and not saying that I'm gonna handpick them. If they like what I like, then hats off to them. But if they like something in particular, that's also something that they can do. We create that platform for them to do so. Um, you spoke about comics. You spoke about One Piece and your journey into One Piece. What sparked your inspiration in diving into One Piece?
Well, it really just came from how many videos I kept seeing about it, and I was looking for another anime to watch at the time, so I was doing some research, and like I was just told like, oh, it's this great big story, it has great moments, and then I'd watch YouTube videos, people explaining, oh, why you should watch it, yada yada. I think it was like Totally Not Mark or something like that I watched, or it was some video that said, like, oh, at the end of every single arc, you're rewarded or something like that. And speaking how I don't know, Whole Cake Island was like a return to that or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it told me. It's like give it a chance, even though it is like 1,000 episodes. And I've started it and I have not looked back because from the first episode I can tell this story is this world or this story or this show, it's something it's something on its own. Like I can dead ass go like
Okay,
a bit into detail about Romance Dawn just for clarity.
you said you can go into detail about what?
Romance Dawn, the first arc of One Piece.
Okay. Well, knowing that One Piece is as large as it is, I'm sure we'd probably be here all day if we didn't, if we did do that. But I guess instead, right? I guess I guess I would kind of caveat off of your interest of One Piece and say that the world is definitely big. That is for sure. Whether or not the creator Oda actually is able to, with his production team, sit down and tie everything together, that might actually be something interesting. I think the series has the opportunity to be one of the best shonen anime of our generation, and I think it definitely has a lot of potential. It's still growing, and it really just depends on how it ends. I think there's been topics on whether or not the series ending has been released, but I won't spoil that. If you're interested, I think the best I guess method to this approach is probably just to read the series yourself, see if you like it. See, the art is actually very unique, so I would definitely check out the art and check out the story as a whole. I'm more of a story guy, anyways. Although I haven't had the time to really check out the series myself. Um, Excuse me, let me backtrack. Although I have not been able to continue the series, I did drop the series around 200 to 300 chapters, somewhere around that margin. And I check in from time to time, but I just have not been as consistent when viewing the series. But there's still at this moment. I think there's still a lot of questions that aren't unanswered, and it really just depends. Hopefully, it doesn't take a deep dive like a lot of series do, and in a negative, I guess, manner, and not really flesh out the series toward the end. I think a lot of fans would be upset about that, and I personally I would not like that for the series myself. Um, you know, and I definitely think that its sense of originality kind of makes presence known amongst the anime community. Um, Personally, I try not to, you know, be in the know of the anime community just because I like to go based off my own interest. Um, but as far as One Piece, what would you say is like your favorite anime or comment?
If it sticks its landing, it will be the greatest anime I've watched. Yes,
Okay, how much anime would you say you have watched?
I've watched a lot of the popular ones. I'd say. Uh,
Okay, so
most of- yeah, yeah. I
so
even
you'd say
watched
like
a little bit
mainstream
of
anime?
yeah, mostly mainstream anime. I'd say.
Okay, and it's not bad either. That's cool. That's cool actually. Yeah, I think there are a lot of series that a lot of people um aren't yet familiar with, but I, there's definitely potential out there for series that have been on air and have novels, light novels, and even manga out there that have thrived and for a while. Um, and typically you don't see as much longevity and showtime as a series like One Piece. But I definitely think that there is um, a lot of series that could very well overtake One Piece. Not only if they drop the ball, but if if
Can you name a series?
if they don't. Oh, what's that?
Can you said you think some series can overtake it?
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely some series out there. Off the top of my head, I don't know if it's probably some in the Discord that I could probably point out, go through and point out. But this is why it's important to kind of dive into not just shonen anime, but different forms of anime, just to kind of get an idea of different writing forms. I think Oda has a unique form of writing, which is why I think the standing for the anime has lasted so long. Um, can it be mirrored? Can it be mimicked? That's something that you know it's I can't necessarily say. it really just depends, because I think One Piece is definitely, although it is a series that came out post 2000s, right? It still found a way to kind of make its own niche, and own community, right? Not to say that that community is exclusive to the One Piece community, but that it is heavily backed, right? Which I could also say for a lot of other series as well. Which is why I encourage people to continue to, um, invest in the world of anime. The world of anime is very broad. Not just anime either. Other forms of literature um, that take inspiration from, Japanese anime takes inspiration from. I talk about a lot on the channel on the influence of not only Japanese anime but Korean, right? Chinese um, and the religious approaches and outlooks and philosophies that those um, those cultures kind of all take and embed into one, right? I look at them equally, right? There's not a one that I think thrives beyond another. I think that there is both. There are great series within each of those categories, and cultures, and I think ultimately together they all kind of make this melting pot of beautiful um, artwork and art form and literature that we can all kind of enjoy and partake in. And I think that they all kind of serve a purpose to kind of um, to build upon each other. I think that without one another, I don't think that one would thrive, right? I think they all sort of take some inspiration from one another, to a degree, right? Not in its entirety, right? Just to clarify, but yeah, definitely stay tuned for um, more more events and podcasts like this. There will be more sync talks. There will be more. There will be a video dropping very soon. Also, stay tuned for that, and then also, stay tuned for more people hopping on the podcast, joining us here live, like Comic Relief and Boruto Debates, here to discuss anime as a whole. Right? We're not exclusive to any anime. We're or any form of literature, right? We try to be fair and try to understand the scope of the anime world and its influence when we dive into these topics. Um, Comic, did you have any words to throw in?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right. Well, I think we might have a watch party like we typically do on the weekends. Um, Sometimes it's an all day event thing. Sometimes it's not. It really just depends on who's joining us. And sometimes I just do them by myself and people hop in. So if you want to be one of those people and you want to join us on the Discord, go ahead and check out the About section on YouTube, and or comment in this video. Um, and yeah, if you don't know, I'm Zone Fanfic, joining you here today. Thank you guys. Thank you, Comic, for joining us today on this episode or Sync Talk segment on the Sync Zone podcast. And yeah, thank you, man. I know Board to the Base kind of left a little early. He had to snag some food. Uh, but yeah, thank you guys for stopping by out there. And we will see you guys Later, travelers.